He is none other than Lowell the intern. Lowell, what's going on, my man?
Bada boom. Realest champs in the room. How you doing?
You know, the last time I think I talked to you, it was the ACC kickoff. Am I right?
That's correct. Yes. Yeah. I was here. You guys were in Charlotte. Great interviews, by the way. Fantastic interviews.
You know, I'll tell you what you really will regret that you missed out on.
I already regret all of it, but go ahead.
The food.
I knew that was coming. The way y'all were talking about food on the air was making me jealous. So I did see some pictures of some of the food.
Yeah.
And yes, I was very jealous.
The ACC did not pull back on the food. It was unlimited smorgasbord, whether you were talking scallops and shrimp, whether you're talking just heaping plates of bacon goodness. Lowell, I think you should thank your lucky stars that I didn't invite you to go up there. You may have had a heart attack from all the food that you may have eaten.
You know, if there's one way I want to go out,
yeah,
it's having a heart attack eating really good food.
A plate of bacon, scallops.
There you go.
And so then you think it's all over, okay? You think, oh, well, that was the end of the meal. And then all of a sudden, Lowell, they bring out just desserts like you've never heard of. Chocolate-covered bananas, some sort of I've never even eaten a dessert out of it looked like a shot glass. It was a tall little glass, and it had some sort of banana, something, I don't know what, Lowell. It was ridiculous. It was fantastic. Next year, Lowell, though, guess what? Zach Lentz says, you're going. Zach Lentz tells me, he says, Swanee, Lowell's got to come to this event. And I said, Lowell's got to come to this event? Who's going to run the board, dare I say? He's like, you can't worry about that. We got to have extra feet on the ground. Lowell, if you're lucky, you'll be there next year. If I have anything to do with it, we'll have some interns from Clemson University or something like that doing it. You know, some people that put in real effort, some people that really grind, some go-getters.
Well, the good news for me is the good news for me is you're not going to be running the show much longer. Me and Zach are kind of taking this thing over.
There you go. Well,
so we're throwing you over and taking over.
Would you remind me to get Rob Sanders to put some breaking news music over there, so when things like that break, you can hit the music?
Yeah, we're gonna get on that. We'll do that during the break.
You weren't here Monday or Tuesday, Lowell. What was going on with you, man? Big things going on in the land of Lowell?
Last days of work. Last couple of days of work.
Just grinding for the man, huh?
Just grinding, getting it done. And I am done. So that makes me happy.
So Lowell the intern, back to not having a paying gig anymore.
I will get another paycheck in 2 weeks.
Woohoo! And let's hope that you hear some good news on the other fronts. If you're looking to hire, Lowell the intern's available. 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. Earlier today, the ACC, I had a chance to vote in it. The All-ACC preseason team, Clemson leading the way with 5 selections. Miami came in second with 4 players selected. Wide receiver Deion Kane, who yesterday was announced as a Biletnikoff preseason award watch list candidate, was first-team All-ACC on the offensive side of the ball. You also had offensive tackle from Clemson, Mitch Hyatt, the junior there, as a first-team All-ACC member, and Tyrone Crowder, who was also in attendance at the ACC kickoff, was picked to be an All-Atlantic Coast Conference first-teamer at guard. Other members, and this is where it gets a little scary at times, Amon Richards, sophomore wideout at Miami, Cam Phillips, senior wide receiver at Virginia Tech, Cam Sergine, I can't even pronounce it. Sergine, is that how you say it, Lowell?
That's close enough.
All right, senior. This is the part I hate. This is when why can't they send these things out with pronunciation guides? That's the worst thing. Jalen Samuels, who is a playmaker, was the all-purpose back for NC State. I mentioned Mitch Hyatt, Brian O'Neill, the junior tackle at Pitt. I mentioned Tyrone Crowder. You also had Wyatt Teller, the senior offensive guard at Virginia Tech. Alec Eberle, junior center at Florida State. Quarterback was Lamar Jackson. Mark Walton was the running back. And Dedrick Mills, sophomore running back at Georgia Tech. That's your first team All-ACC team. Defensive end, Harold Landry. Lowell, maybe your favorite defensive end in the league, even over some of the studs at Clemson?
He is a freak. He's going to be a lock for probably the first round next year in the draft.
He's a big old kid. He was there at the ACC kickoff, the senior out of Boston College, first-team defensive end. Also on the defensive line, Bradley Chubb, the senior NC State defensive end. The two big boys in the middle for your Clemson Tigers, Dexter Lawrence and Christian Wilkins, lead the way at defensive tackle. The sophomore and junior from Clemson lining up there in the middle on the All-ACC squad.
Yeah, by the way, probably not just the best defensive tackle combo in the ACC, probably in the entirety of college football.
Yeah, that's a reasonable thing to believe for sure. You have linebacker Micah Kaiser, the senior at Virginia. Shaquille Quarterman, the sophomore at Miami. Boy, is he put together. You ought to see this kid, Lowell. Let me tell you what. This kid looks like he'd take your lunchbox, believe me. He doesn't look like he's messing around. Tremaine Edmonds, the junior at Florida State. At cornerback, Tavares McFadden at Florida State. Jair Alexander, one of the top cornerbacks in the country at Louisville, the junior there. Derwin James, perhaps the most versatile player in the Atlantic Coast Conference, the sophomore safety, and then Quinn Blanding, a senior safety from Virginia. Now, the special teams members were Michael Bagley, the junior place kicker at Miami. That's a name that I'm sure is on the tip of everybody's tongue across the country. And also the punter A.J. Cole, the third from NC State. Quadri Henderson, the junior out of Pitt, was named the special teams preseason player of the year. If you're wondering how other guys finished up, it was DeAndre Francois second behind Lamar Jackson, followed by Eric Dungy, quarterback at Syracuse. Then you had running back, you had Mark Walton, followed by Dedrick Mills at Georgia Tech. We mentioned those earlier. Jaquez Patrick at Florida State. He's a kid to keep your eye on this year. Could have a breakout year, minus Dalvin Cook down there for the Florida State Seminoles. And then Trayvon McMillan, running back at Virginia Tech. At wideout, it was Deion Kane, Amon Richards, Cam Phillips, and then you follow them up with Hunter Renfrow, Jalen Smith at Louisville, and Naquan Murray down at Florida State. And with that being said, we'll go back to the topic that I asked yesterday at the end of the program. Who's the player that you trust the most offensively for the Clemson Tigers? Who's the guy that you feel like you can go to when the going gets tough in a ball game? And the majority of people came pretty strong with the belief that it was either A, Deion Kane, or B, Hunter Renfrow. Now, there were other names on the list, and we'll get to some of those coming up here on the program momentarily. But, Lowell, if you had to make a play right now, if it's 3rd and 7, and you just need somebody to turn to, somebody, hubba, money, 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 who do you trust? Who's that guy on the offense this year? Because you got to admit, the past 2-3 seasons, there have been a lot of people to trust, most notably Deshaun Watson at quarterback. Who would you trust on a 3rd and 7?
Well, see, you throw that keyword in there. The keyword trust. Trust, not necessarily who's the fastest, not necessarily who's going to make the biggest play down the field. Who do I trust the most on 3rd and 7? I need 8 yards. There's only one name you can say. Hunter Renfrow.
Even if you go back to last season and you think about a 7-8 yard gain needed, and if you took away Deshaun Watson and Mike Williams, let's say they had rolled their ankles, a lot of people would go, hey, you know who I'd trust to get me 8 yards? I'd trust Wayne Gallman. I'd trust Artavis Scott. I mean, there were other big names out there, and I thought it was an interesting question, and it did take off over on social media. Jeremy chimes in. He says it would be Deion Kane for him. We've heard from Alex. He says Renfrow. Justin goes with Renfrow. Jeff Travis with an interesting one. He's at HeartDocJT. He says he'd go with Mitch Hyatt. If you had to trust somebody on this offense in 2017, it would be Mitch Hyatt. Now, maybe that's in a different perspective of getting you 7 yards, obviously, but if you just had to trust somebody on that offensive line, if you just had to trust somebody to protect the backside of your quarterback, Mitch Hyatt's a good choice. His freshman year, he was unreal. He was unbelievable his freshman year. He was really good as a sophomore. I don't think he's going to take steps backwards. I think he's going to have another great, great year. And I'll agree with Jeff on this. He's an interesting pick and somebody I would trust if I needed to.
Well, if it's 3rd and 1 and we need to pick up a yard and we're giving it to C.J. Fuller or Tavian Feaster, let me run up behind Tyrone Crowder there on the offensive line. I'll trust him to get me the yard.
Listen, Tyrone Crowder's up. He's a heck of an offensive lineman for the Clemson Tigers. Let's see. Adam Way SC says Winfrow. Winfrow. Scott chiming in says Hunter Renfrow. How about Big Ron Jolly? Well, I don't know if Ron Jolly's big or not, but Ron_Jolly on Twitter says Renfrow. Ron, you just got one of those names on social media. It just seems right to say Big Ron Jolly. Big Ron Jolly sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds like somebody I want to hang out with. Ron, let us know if you ever want to come in the studio. Send us a profile picture, though, and an FBI background check, just in case. I always want to be cautious on those things. So, Lowell, you go with Hunter Renfrow as well. It's funny. Nobody's trusting Kelly Bryant. Nobody's trusting Zarek Cooper or Hunter Johnson. If you knew who the starting quarterback was,
you may pick the quarterback.
Would that change things?
No, because I think
it would not.
No.
I don't trust. I just don't trust any of those guys.
It's not that I don't trust them. It's that you're throwing that keyword in there, which is trust.
Yeah.
And when I think of consistency and someone who, if you throw it their direction, they're not going to drop it. I've maybe seen Hunter Renfrow drop one pass his entire career. So for that reason, he's a safety blanket. And he's been described as, he's not that he's not a playmaker, but he's a safety blanket. If you need 5 yards, he gets you 6. That's the kind of player he is. And so if you're telling me I have to pick a player that I trust the most on the offense, it is Hunter Renfrow.
It's pretty incredible, too, when you think about Hunter Renfrow and where he is today and looking back on the situation when he got his scholarship. And I remember vividly Dabo Swinney 2 years ago saying, by the time this kid leaves Clemson, he will be a starter for us. He could be. I don't know if it was he will or he could. But the statement that came out was basically, this kid is good enough to start for us. And I remember looking at that roster and going, really? Where? Lowell the intern in the building, Lawton Swan here, 803-978-1832. 803-978-1832 is the number. You could follow Lowell on Twitter at Lowell the intern. Follow me at CST Show or at Clemson Sports. I believe we have a caller on the line with us tonight. We'll jump in on that right now and see what they have to say about the topic. Caller, welcome in. What's up?
Renfrow, by far, is the only answer. The guy, you talk about trust. You can't bring in guys that have never played or played very little and ask, do we trust them? Because we don't know. We know to trust Renfrow. I'm with Lowell, man. That one catch that they reviewed against Alabama that he kind of trapped and they overturned. I was like, why are they reviewing it? It's Hunter Renfrow. Of course he caught the ball. The guy catches everything. So, yeah, that's my trust guy. I got a poll question for you. I want to get y'all's take on this.
All right.
If whoever the quarterback is turns out to be for Clemson wins any award of any kind this year, what does that mean for this program this year? I'll hang up and listen.
Wow, that's a great question. It would sure seem to think. It sure seems to make me think that Clemson would have a pretty incredible year if any of those guys are picking up any individual hardware.
Yeah, I don't really envision a scenario where a Clemson quarterback is getting individual accomplishments and the team isn't getting any accomplishments.
Right. Even if it were to be the all-ACC quarterback, if they were to outperform Lamar Jackson or DeAndre Francois and be at the top of the conference even.
So, you think about this Clemson team this year. There's really only one glaring question. Who's going to be the tight end or who's going to replace Jay at center, yeah, those are questions, but there's one big question, and it's what is the who's going to be the quarterback and how is he going to perform? And if the quarterback performs admirably, you would think that the team, with all the pieces around it, that defense and then the players returning on offense, the team would do pretty well.
803-978-1832 is the number. It's a great question. We can talk about that on the flip side a little bit more, but I'm kind of with you, Lowell, as well. I mean, if any of these guys are getting any national recognition, local recognition, conference recognition, that probably means this Clemson team is flirting, if not in the college football playoff. Stay with us.
A worldwide phenomenon is back. Our 2017 iHeart Radio Music Festival. September 22nd and 23rd at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Over 20 of the greatest performers on the planet converge in Las Vegas for 2 nights. Keep listening all this weekend for your chance to win tickets before you can even buy them. Awesome. Set a reminder for our exclusive Capital One cardholder presale that starts Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan, with quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
July 19th is National Hot Dog Day, and at Circle K, we are going to celebrate it for a week. That's right, $1 hot dogs from July 17th through July 23rd at participating Circle K locations. Our dogs are doggone good, only at Circle K. Take it easy.
Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk. Join the show in the chat room at clemsonsportstalk.com.
Interesting question that was proposed. Again, what does it mean? And listen, this is, if you said to me, Swanee, what is the worst thing you do in radio? Besides have to hang out with Lowell the intern. It would be to remember exactly the questions that are asked by callers. So I'm going to try and paraphrase this, Lowell. You tell me if I missed the mark. Basically, the question was, what does it mean for this Clemson team if a quarterback is in line for awards at the end of the season? Is that fair to say that was kind of the given question?
More or less, yes.
So we'll leave that open for people to get in and talk about. 803-978-1832. You can text us thanks to the Ocean Reef Resort in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That text line's 803-450-0086. Don't forget about our free Clemson Sports Talk app and the fact that we podcast every edition of the show. We have a live chat you can join. Go over to our website, clemsonsportstalk.com. And then over on the front page there, on the left side of the website, you will see a link that says live show chat. And you click that and you become a part of our live show chat. And you also go there and you'll hear the show. So I don't know if you heard that, but I heard that. I think there's no doubt that if these guys are in the mix for any individual award, Well, and can we? What about like freshman All-American type award, things like that? I mean, would that, in your mind, mean that Clemson's in the mix? Because that would be one where I would say maybe not. If Hunter Johnson ends up being the guy and ends up being the best freshman quarterback in America, that may not mean a whole lot for Clemson. That could mean that they're a good team, but they're not the Atlantic Coast Conference champs. They're not in the college football playoff. Would that be a statement you would agree with, that if Hunter Johnson is up for the quarterback of the year, freshman quarterback of the year, first team, whatever they call it? I always get them confused. Not the Sammy Watkins, who was a freshman All-American, but the freshman All-American team comprised of only first-year players. Would that necessarily signify to you that Clemson had this great, outstanding year? Possibly not, because there's not a lot of freshman quarterbacks that are playing typically. To pick, the pool is not huge in that.
Okay, I'm with you. That's fair.
And if you're the guy and you're playing at Clemson and you're having a good season, like I don't remember who 2 years ago. Look up, Lowell. Who won it? Who was the freshman quarterback of the year in 2014 when Deshaun Watson looked pretty good, and had he been healthy all season, maybe would have been, and maybe he was, and I just don't remember it. Lowell, the intern's going to dive into that and try to get that news for us to see if it was Deshaun Watson or who the other guy would have been. I mean, if that player's still around, he's a senior today. I can't think of who, just off the top of my head, it would have been. Again, the Atlantic Coast Conference announced their all-ACC preseason team. The Clemson Tigers led the way with 5 players selected. Wide receiver Deion Kane, offensive tackle Mitch Hyatt, offensive guard Tyrone Crowder, and then Dexter Lawrence and Christian Wilkins, both at defensive tackle. Any luck over there, Sherlock?
Are you sure that's an award?
Don't they have a freshman All-American team? Am I just crazy about that? I don't know that it's a sanctioned award by the NCAA. I think it's like CBS Sports or somebody gives it out. There's definitely a freshman All-American team.
Well, yeah, I'll find it. I'll find it.
I know that exists. 803-978-1832. 803-978-1832. Sources out of the NFL today saying that former Clemson Tiger wide receiver Mike Williams might need season-ending back surgery, potentially placing him on the physically unable to perform list. This is some incredible news coming out, saying that it has been there is still some hope that after encouraging signs after receiving a second epidural, that he may not need surgery on his herniated disc. Now, this is an issue for Mike Williams that could be significant in terms of his first year in the NFL for sure.
Yeah, now Ian Rappaport has reported that surgery was on the table 3 or 4 weeks ago, but then he says 2 sources with direct knowledge say it's not on the table now and that Williams is improving.
Someone familiar with the situation also saying that this may be a lot more serious than people thought. So right now, the opportunity for Mike Williams in the NFL in 2017 is a tremendous question mark. Again, 2 years ago, you'll recall Mike Williams broke his neck in the season opener against Wofford. Williams was diagnosed with a herniated disc after his first practice during rookie minicamp and did not practice again. You hate to hear that for Mike Williams. I think you hate to hear that for the Los Angeles Chargers, who are going to count on him this year. But the good news is that right now there's a possibility that he does get to get out on the field and not have to have surgery on his back. 803-978-1832. Again, on Twitter, at Clemson Sports, and you can follow me at CST Show. Williams, of course, was the 7th-round draft pick of the Los Angeles Chargers this past season. Lowell, any luck coming up with a freshman All-American team?
I have one here from Athlon Sports.
That'll work.
College football's 2014 postseason all-freshman team.
That's what I'm looking for.
First team quarterback, J.T. Barrett, Ohio State.
Okay.
Second team was Anu Solomon from Arizona. Third team, Brad Kaya from Miami.
So no Deshaun Watson in 2014.
Artavis Scott was second team.
All right. Who else would have been a freshman back then? Was
Mackenzie Alexander was second team.
Ooh. Wouldn't you like to have him on the team last year for a final season at corner? Man. Hold on. Walk me back through this for a second, Lowell. Mackenzie Alexander left 2 years ago after his redshirt sophomore year.
Correct.
Last year would have been his redshirt junior year. Correct. If he left after his redshirt sophomore, the next year would be his redshirt junior.
Okay.
This would have been Mackenzie Alexander's redshirt senior year at Clemson. Is that what you're telling me right now?
I think that's what you're telling me.
If Mackenzie Alexander had stayed at school for 2 additional years, which nobody expected him to be there for a senior year, especially after having a redshirt his freshman year with the injuries, are you telling me we'd be heading into the 20? Okay. Can I just have some revisionist history here on the show tonight, Lowell? Can we take a look at guys who have left early who would have still been around this coming season? Is that too much to ask of the intern?
We can do that.
Who else would have been on this team in 2017 potentially? All we got to do is go back and look at the incoming freshmen and those that redshirted back in 2013. God, this is where
you can look at
the math gets hard.
If you do 5 years, assuming one of them red shirts, you can do 2013.
Yeah. Man alive. That Mackenzie Alexander thing is kind of scary. Can you imagine if he'd been out there all last season and was coming back this year? I saw him flexing his muscles over on Twitter. They actually tagged me. Him and Justin Miller tagged Clemson Sports in the tweet the other day. They were getting their Clemson grind on in the morning. Justin Miller was another freak, wasn't he? What an athlete. He had 2 kick returns against Florida State on the road in Tallahassee, and we still didn't win the game? You think that would happen today? You think Clemson would get 2 kick returns against Florida State and couldn't beat the Seminoles? Get out of here. We'll be back.
Cottingham Family Dentistry is proud to announce the opening of their new office located at 3722 Devine Street, and they're welcoming new patients. What makes Cottingham Family Dentistry different? It's in the name, family. They will cater to your needs and the dental needs of your children. Cottingham Family Dentistry offers same-day crowns, dental implants, cosmetic dentistry, including whitening, veneers, and tooth-colored fillings, and many other dental services. If you're searching for an amazing dental home, call 776-4234 or stop by their new office at 3722 Devine Street and become a part of the family at Cottingham Family Dentistry.
Does your water have a bad taste and odor, high content of chlorine and chemicals, and hardness? Then call the plumbing pros at Metz Plumbing for a free water analysis. Metz Plumbing is the exclusive dealer for Connecticut Water Systems, the best drinking water system in the world.
732 Brakes for less is what we do. We know drums, rotors, pads, and shoes. If there's a squeal in your wheel, come see the best. 254 Stop.
Brakes for less.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
Warm weather means fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, which can endanger your pets. Fleas and ticks can cause life-threatening disease, and mosquitoes transmit heartworms. There are some new, exciting, innovative treatments for the prevention of these parasites. Protect your pet. Consult your local authority, your neighborhood veterinarian. Brought to you by Midlands Veterinary Practice, where we care for the most valuable pets. Yours. Visit us at MidlandsVet.com on Facebook or Twitter. Call us at 750-7387, 750-PETS.
Tonight, the scattered storms will die off. The lows will drop down to the mid-70s. Now, tomorrow will be sunny and very hot. Afternoon highs, mid to upper 90s. For Channel 25 ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report brought to you by CEI Transport at 844 Hall CEI. CEI is hiring Class A CDL drivers with 2 years experience. $1,500 sign-on bonus. Home every night. Full benefits with bonuses, 401k, and health insurance. Call now, 844 Hall CEI. That's 844 HAUL CEI.
You're listening to Clemson Sports Talk with my dad, Lawton Swan, on Fox Sports Radio 1400 and on the iHeart Radio app.
Just a little bit longer. Please, 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 please tell me you're going to. Now your daddy don't mind, and your mommy don't mind. If we have another
Clemson Sports Talk, Lawton Swan. All right, so we looked at the list real quick of some of those guys who could have potentially been back, and it's not as long as I thought it was. Mackenzie Alexander would have been the most notable because he left 2 years early because of his talent and the fact that he redshirted his freshman year. He would not have traditionally had he been healthy his freshman year on campus, he would not have redshirted. He would have played 3 years, and he could have only stuck around for last season if he had chosen to. But you could have potentially had this year Mackenzie Alexander out there, Wayne Gallman, Adrian Baker, who transferred, Scott Pagano, who transferred, and Tyshawn Dye at running back. That, some of those things would clear up some question marks. And speaking of one of the question marks that would have been cleared up just a little bit, perhaps, now that you've got a situation on the defensive line that we talked about here yesterday with Richard Juergens' injury in a car accident, he's going to be out the entire year. Samuel Davis transferring. And Brent Venables saying, well, Samuel's not a big deal because he hadn't done anything. He's never done nothing since he's been at Clemson. Scott Pagano could have been somebody there on the interior, and Brent Venables mentioned Scott Pagano being one of the guys that the Tigers would have missed. He wished Pagano nothing but the best and said he really didn't understand that move at all. And you look at it today, and yeah, that move for Pagano may have been a bad move. With the attrition and now the injuries on Clemson's defensive front and the fact that maybe a Christian Wilkins plays some at the defensive end spot this year, let's be honest, Scott Pagano, sir, your bread may have been buttered better right now staying in Clemson. You may have had a better spot in 2017 with the Tigers than you do out in Oregon. You'd definitely be on television more. West Coast, you get lost in the shuffle. I could ask half of the country to name defensive linemen on the West Coast. People can't do it. Nobody's awake for some of those games. But Mackenzie Alexander could have been a senior this year on Clemson's team. Redshirt senior. That's nuts. What you got, Lowell? You look like you're digging on something.
Oh, no, I'm just looking over the roster. It's funny. Most of these guys that we were looking at actually are back on the team and are seniors this year. So I've found that to be pretty amusing.
Well, is that a positive or a negative in your opinion?
No, it's great. Having experiences is awesome. I mean, and some of the guys that we looked at are going to be contributors. I mean, Dorian O'Daniel came in 2013. It really feels like he's been in Clemson forever.
He does.
But, I mean, you love having that back. You want to have those guys around. So, Marcus Edmond, who was a hero in 2 different games last year.
He absolutely was. Big interception against NC State and knocked out the
James Quick at 1 yard short of the first down.
Wow. That was a big play, wasn't it? If James Quick cuts the ball inside.
It's funny. He couldn't have. I see people talk about it was bad awareness by Quick, and that's part of it. But the other part of it was Marcus Edmond took a great angle on him. He
at
took
least
a
you
great
could
angle.
But if you cut it inside, at least you could have fought for it.
Right. You could
That's
have.
the difference.
You could have.
That's the difference. I kind of think about, like, the movie Back to the Future, one of my favorite movies ever. Or even the great television show that probably most people don't know a whole lot about, Quantum Leap. Have you seen Quantum Leap, Lowell? Do you know about this show?
I know about it. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Okay, so basically you jump into the body. The guy jumped into a body of somebody else, and he had to, like, solve their problem. When he looked in the mirror, he saw them. Or, excuse me, he saw himself, but everybody else saw them. I mean, he could be a man, a woman, a child. It really didn't matter. But he had to solve their issues. I think about James Quick, if that guy quantum leaped into his body and cut the ball to the inside, all of a sudden Clemson's national championship trophy over there at the football operations complex starts to fade and vanish like Back to the Future. Oh, sorry, Tigers, you didn't win it because James Quick cut it back to the inside. He would have at least been able to fight for it. Some big news out of the WWE today, Lowell. I don't know if you saw this, but good news now for Shane McMahon, as he was involved in a helicopter accident earlier today, but he's going to be okay. He was a passenger in a helicopter crash that had to make a water landing. That seems a bit scary, but the good news is Shane O'Mac is okay, and looks like he'll be making it to their next big pay-per-view event that they've got coming up. But that is one of the great perils of being a millionaire, billionaire guy that's in a helicopter and a jet and flying around a lot. You know, they say statistically it is safer to fly than it is to drive. But I'm pretty sure when you fly a lot, like a whole lot, especially if you're flying in little airplanes or helicopters, I feel kind of like your odds go up a little bit. But good news is nothing happened to Shane McMahon. But I did see that news break just before we came on the air. Wanted to let all our wrestling fans know, because we got a lot of wrestling fans in the area, that's for sure.
Did you happen to see the interview they did with him when he was off of the helicopter?
No, how did he look? Nervous?
No. It was so funny.
Not nervous?
No, he was just completely cool. And it was really funny because someone tweeted, Shane McMahon no-selling a helicopter crash is the most Shane McMahon thing I've ever seen.
Oh, wow.
And no, he was just very chill and was just talking about it. He was like, he said, it's a little unnerving when you hear a big bump and they say you're going for an emergency landing, but
yeah, that's a little unnerving.
It's a little unnerving, but he's like, my pilot was very calm, so I was very calm.
It's like when did you see the movie Sully? About the guy that
No, I know what it's about.
Yeah, about having to land the plane in the Hudson River. Yeah, you talk about you talk about quick thinking. Huh? Are you kidding me? Shoo.
Oh, and the best part of the interview was at the very end when the reporter says, "Are you Vince McMahon's son?" And he goes,
no.
Yeah, that's what she said. And she said, they were telling me to ask you that.
No. Come on.
Best part of the interview.
You have to be joking. Who does she work, or who did she work for? I can't say who does she work for. Are you serious? That's not. You're ribbing. That's a rib.
Nope. It happened. You can go find the interview on Twitter.
Are you Vince McMahon's son? Oh.
And he just said, yes, I am.
Is that on the record or off the record? Wow. 803-978-1832 is the number. 803-978-1832. Again, you can head over to ClemsonSportsTalk.com. Zach Lentz has been doing an incredible job keeping you updated on everything going on in the world of the Clemson Tigers. And tonight, Solid Orange on Watch Fox 57. Get the inside scoop from Zach and our good friend Courtney King, who hosts that show each and every week on Wednesday evenings. 803-978-1832. When we come back, we'll hear from you on the phone lines as well. Plus, I may or may not give Lowell the intern his Swanee Award that he received on Tuesday. He was not here. I had to accept it in his absence on his behalf. I may present it to him when we return. Stay with us.
A worldwide phenomenon is back. Our 2017 iHeart Radio Music Festival. September 22nd and 23rd at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Over 20 of the greatest performers on the planet converge in Las Vegas for 2 nights. Keep listening all this weekend for your chance to win tickets before you can even buy them. Awesome! Set a reminder for our exclusive Capital One cardholder presale that starts Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Lawton Swan here, and I know in sports we're always talking about the big guy. Well, let me tell you, when you're buying a car, you don't need that. What you need to do is head down to Orangeburg to my good friends at Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac. 4 generations of family-owned business right there at Ferry Chevrolet. No dock fees, no tricks, straightforward pricing in a low-pressure environment you'll love. Check them out online, ferrychevrolet.com, or call them 803-536-1600. It's Ferry Chevrolet Cadillac, just a short 30-minute drive off of exit 145A in Orangeburg.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
When you have a need for a plumber, you need it fast and you need it done right. If you're dealing with busted pipes, maybe you need your toilet repaired or you're battling a clogged drain, break free from average service and experience the best with Freedom Plumbing. Call James Carwell and the staff at Freedom Plumbing to get the job done fast, on time, and most importantly, right the first time. Freedom Plumbing, your local 24-hour plumber. Call 803-447-0471 or online at freedom-plumbing.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules. Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk, your iHeart Radio home for the 2016 College Football National Champion, Clemson Tigers.
Clemson Sports Talk, Fox Sports Radio, the iHeart Radio app. So I'm sitting over here during the break watching Shane McMahon highlights from his time in the ring. Okay, Mick Foley. Some of you may know him as Cactus Jack or Mankind. Terry Funk. Those guys, kind of the crazy side of wrestling, the barbaric side of wrestling, the guys who are taking just chair shots and not protecting themselves. Those guys were trying to get paid. Those guys were trying to make money and I guess become millionaires at their craft. Would you agree with that, Lowell, that that's what those guys were taking those shots for?
I would agree.
And I don't know that Terry Funk got there, but I'm sure Mick Foley did. Terry Funk may have. Shane McMahon never had to take a bump in his life. He never had to get in the ring. He's got a net worth at estimates $35 million. And as soon as his dad kicks the bucket, that net worth is going through the roof. He has done some of the craziest things I have ever seen in the history of wrestling. Just kind of reviewing some of the highlights. If you get a minute, put this in your Google machine. Shane McMahon highlights.
Well, you don't have to go back far to find one.
No, he just had the one with
Undertaker.
the Undertaker.
WrestleMania.
He never had to take a bump in his life and he'd been a millionaire. Probably a billionaire by the time he's pushing up daisies. Because once his dad dies and he takes over the corporation or the majority of it or whatever stake he's going to get, him and his sister are going to have split. They're not going to be worrying about a whole lot, let's just say. Lowell, do we have the audio of this interview from Shane McMahon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
Can we just play? I want to play it more about the question that was asked than his calm demeanor after the water landing today.
So, would you like me to skip ahead or just play the whole clip?
How long is the clip?
30 seconds.
Yes, let's play the whole thing. Let's just play the whole thing in its entirety.
Were you nervous during this whole thing?
Well, it's very unsettling, when all of a sudden you have, something happen. You hear a bang, and then you start saying we're going to do an emergency landing in the water. So, yes, it was very unnerving. But again, Mario was super calm, which made me super calm, and we landed perfectly.
Are you Vince McMahon's son?
I am.
Oh. Okay,
Riveting.
they just asked me to ask that.
Oh, gosh.
Are you Vince McMahon's son?
I am. I like how she asked it and then recognizes how dumb of a question it may actually be. And so then she throws it off on somebody that's in her ear or some other reporter that's like, it had to be somebody in her ear. I can't imagine that other reporters are around her going, hey, ask him if it's Vince McMahon's son. Because his last name is McMahon.
Also, shouldn't you just ask, are you Shane McMahon, not are you Vince McMahon's son? That's a little insulting that he doesn't have his own.
On the bottom of the screen on the news channel, it says Vince McMahon's son.
It's a little bit insulting.
Confirmed. Shane looks old. I don't know if that plane crash that helicopter crash put any gray hairs on him, but he's looking old in that video you showed me, Lowell.
Well, he's also taken a beating all throughout his career, as we just pointed out. That probably doesn't help.
And I don't know why. I'll tell you something else that would put some gray hairs on your head. I saw an article, well, two strange articles here that I've seen in the past week or so. 2 professional runners outran 2 bears while training in the woods, Lowell. Think that'll get you going? This happened in Maine. A professional runner from Kenya was out training on a nature trail in the woods near his home when he encountered 2 charging black bears, but was able to outrun them during a frantic sprint to a nearby vacant house for cover. Oh.
If it was you and me, I think I could outrun them too. I just have to trip you, and then I'm in the clear.
I mean, that's what they say.
Don't have to outrun the bear. just have to outrun you.
Just outrun one person. That's right. Yeah. So I saw that story and I thought, wow, I wanted to share that one today. Here's another one, and this doesn't seem possible to me, but an Alabama man shot a 820-pound hog in his front yard. Okay. I think that may be the bigger side of this story. If you're out in the woods and you're hunting and you come across a feral hog and you shoot it and kill it and it's 820 pounds, that's a good story. When you take one down in your front yard that weighs 820 pounds, I mean, what are you sitting in there watching the Today Show, drinking your cup of coffee, and you look out to your right and there's an 820-pound hog in your yard? Honey, get my gun. He said he shot it last week with no regrets. Hunters on private land can kill all feral hogs they want because of the destruction that they do under Alabama law. And let me tell you, 820-pound hog, son, that's a big old animal. That is a big animal. I'm imagining that's pretty good eating, too. I imagine wild hog's good to eat. I wouldn't know personally, but nonetheless. 803-978-1832. I don't know how we got off on that train wreck of a segment. Shane McMahon.
That helicopter crash for segment?
God, that segment was a helicopter crash. But Lowell stayed calm, so that kept me calm. That helped me get through it. I thought you were going to ask me, am I Reed Swan's son?
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about doing it.
You should have. You probably just didn't know my dad's first name.
I knew it. I just couldn't remember it. I was trying to remember it.
Lowell, that would you know what that would have done? That would have turned that plane crash of a segment into an absolute. That would have gone into the Swanee Awards. All right, so we got a couple of minutes, Lowell. you were the reigning 2016 intern of the year here at Clemson Sports Talk. And
15 and 14, I believe.
Well, we didn't give the award until you were here a couple of years in. We finally decided we needed to give you something for your time. So there was a mythical award that we created.
Sort of like the BCS National Championship, the mythical National Championship.
Sort of what it's like, except less people vote on it. But I did. I put a computer formula together, taking in the days that you work, the days that you're here, and the days that you're not here. And the data came up. 2017 Swanee Award winner for Best Intern of the Year, Lowell the Intern. Lowell, congratulations. Would you like to, would you like to say something to your constituents?
Well,
your loyalists.
Yeah, I would like to thank all my loyalists because I wouldn't be here without you. And Swanee, I'm surpassing you. I just want you to know that right now. So I'm passing you. I'm on my way to the top.
Yeah.
I'm taking the loyalists with me.
I noticed today when Ron Hill stopped by, I thought he was kind of giving you the look of like, you're our future. I kind of got that. There was something in his eye that just said, I think the guy behind you is the next big deal.
I'm a rising star. I'm willing to take all the bumps, just like Shane McMahon.
It's like Ryan Seacrest, Lowell the Intern.
I don't like being compared to Ryan Seacrest, so let's not go that route.
He's only the top DJ in the world.
Speaking of DJs, by the way, I was watching the Defiant Ones last night. You got a chance to watch that at all?
I've seen the first episode. It's really good.
Speaking of DJs,
yeah.
How about Dr. Dre?
How about in the purple doctor outfit?
That's fantastic.
That was a gimmick that was, the only thing worse than that, we'll stay with wrestling for a minute here. Remember when they did the Yeti in the WCW and he was wrapped up in toilet paper? Like a mummy coming to the ring? Hour number 2 of this helicopter wreck of a program right after this.
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
You've done the research, Jonathan, and decided on a Honda.
And you waited for just the right time to buy, Gary, and now it's here.
The Honda Summerbration Sales Event
at Honda of Columbia.
We're clearing out every 2017 Honda in stock at the lowest prices of the entire year and giving you a hassle-free buying experience.
Don't wait. The Honda Summerbration Sales Event is the time to buy at Honda of Columbia, your friendly family Honda dealer since 1978.
Highway 378 at I-20 and HondaofColumbia.com.
Tiger fans, look no further than the Tiger Sports Shop in Clemson for all your game day gear. Since 1974, they've brought you everything Clemson for the Clemson fan, with quality brand names such as Nike, Under Armour, Antigua, Ping, and many more. From hats to t-shirts to tailgate, the Tiger Sports Shop has all the Clemson apparel a true Tiger fan needs. With 2 convenient game day locations in Tigertown, shop where I shop at I Am Ibrahim's Tiger Sports Shop. They fuel the passion of Tiger fans everywhere. Check them out online, tigersports.com.
Hey guys, Lawton Swan here. I was hanging out in the backyard with my son Mason the other day, and he said, "Dad, you're the best father ever." I was like, "What makes you say that, son?" He said, "When I go outside to play now, I don't get eaten up by the bugs anymore." Imagine that, me, a hero, when all I did was just a couple of weeks ago call Trey Powell at Mosquito Joe with their routine service plan. No more bugs and no more bites. Make yourself the family hero. Call Mosquito Joe today, 803-223-7916. Outside is fun again.
For 28 years, the professional staff of the Hobbs Group and Hobbs Group Advisors has been dedicated to helping others achieve their financial goals by delivering quality, objective financial and accounting solutions to a diverse client base of individuals and businesses all over South Carolina. We offer tax and audit services, bookkeeping, payroll, litigation support, employee benefits, personal financial planning, investment management, and insurance services. Please call us at 803-799-0555 or visit our website, hobbscpa.com, to learn more about our people and services.
Every year, Steve Faircal climbs the stairs of the John Hancock Center in Chicago, 94 floors to the top.
It's called the hustle up the Hancock.
It's hard to believe when you watch Steve today that a few years ago, his lungs were failing and he was fighting to survive.
For 8 hours a day, someone was pounding on my chest to try and keep my lungs clear. I honestly don't think I had more than a couple weeks to live.
That's when Steve received the gift of life, a double lung transplant made possible by an organ donor.
After I got my new lungs, I started doing things that I had never been able to do. I never knew that breathing could feel this good.
Steve climbs to honor his donor and to raise awareness for organ, eye, and tissue donation.
Wouldn't you like that when you left this beautiful planet, that you could save a few lives on your way out? It's an incredible gift.
Imagine what you could make possible by leaving behind the gift of life. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
From the E.F. Martin Heating and Air Studios, this is Fox Sports Radio 1400.
WCOS Columbia.
Available anywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app.
Fox Sports Trending now.
7-day games in Major League Baseball, the last of which is wrapping up in San Francisco. The Giants' sellout streak ended this week, nearly 7 years' worth as far as paid attendance. Giants are winning now today, 5-4 over Cleveland, but the Tribe has bases loaded, 2 outs, top of the 9th. Cubs won their 6th straight game, 8-2 at Atlanta, but Cubs star Chris Bryant left with a sprained finger after sliding head first. X-rays were negative. Addison Russell went 4 for 4 in the win. Javier Baez hit a 3-run homer. When you're ready to experience a better way to sell or trade in your car, check out TrueCar.com/trade today. At Colorado, Nolan Arenado with 3 home runs. He went 5 for 6 against the Padres, 7 RBIs. Rockies won the game 18-4. Wins for Oakland and Seattle, for Philadelphia and Minnesota. U.S. men's soccer on FS1 tonight, Gold Cup quarterfinal. I'm Steve DeSager.
It's time for Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan.
Ready, set. Just call me Swanee.
Tiger style. Tiger style.
It is hour number 2. That's prime time right here on Fox Sports Radio and iHeart Radio. Lawton Swan, Lowell the intern. 803-978-1832 is the number. You could text us. Thanks to our friends at the Ocean Reef Resort. 803-450-0086. I'm pretty sure that last 9 minutes of hour 1 was must-hear radio. We may podcast that whole segment separately from the rest of the show, just so that we can archive it. We talked wrestling, helicopter plane crashes, a person outrunning a bear, an 820-pound hog, and a terrible reporter. I think I covered it. Did I miss anything?
Dr. Dre in his his purple doctor suit.
Dre. I forgot about that. Oh, when he's up there on the 1s and 2s with a full surgeon suit on. That now typically when I see suits of that nature, they are like this baby blue kind of color. When somebody's going into major surgery, that's what I picture. Not Dr. Dre. It was like bright purple. Up there mixing. The real Payzant on the line with us tonight here on the show that shakes the Southland. Payzant, what's going on, buddy?
What would have been worse if the fact that she asked the question, or if she got his father wrong and asked if you're Jim McMahon's son? Would that have been worse? I mean, as unprofessional as you can be, but what if she had just blown it all together and went that direction?
Yeah,
but
that would have been bad.
So I figured this show had Clemson in the title, so I wanted to really quickly ask a question about Clemson football, which you can run with it. I'd like to see your response, and I don't, and Lowell and anybody out there who's thinking about it, but I don't know if you remember, about 7 years ago, I called you on another show, and it was you, and you were guest hosting with an older gentleman, and I was calling you from Austin, Texas.
Okay, that would have been that actually would have been on this same station, if you can believe this.
Okay.
That was called Clemson Hotline with Red Reynolds. That was
yes. So at the time, I asked the question. I posed it to you and to Rhett, and I said, I feel like I'm in the motherland of American college football in Austin, Texas. I felt like I was there. And I asked the question, do you believe that Clemson would ever get to the status that that Texas was at in regard to not just winning, but in regard to being seen as a hub of college football? So with it being the off season, like there's a lot of hype around Clemson, and it's expected and it's warranted. And it seems like the last few years, Texas, of course, hasn't had that hype because they haven't had the winning. They have a new coach in. I don't know if you really want to consider Texas as central location of football anymore, just because of what Saban's done, what Dabo's done, what Urban Meyer has done.
Right.
What, with all those, like, you can't really centralize football into Texas anymore, especially with Georgia, Florida, all these states being great at football. But I guess my question is, are we there, or is it even possible to get to a place where you're synonymous with college football like Austin, Texas is?
That's a great point, man. I think you're closing in on it. I really believe that. And again, I think that one of the things that will tell the story, I think, of college football the next 25 years will be this college football playoff. And if Clemson is a team that gets to the college football playoff in the first 10 years that it exists 4 or 5 times, I mean, I think that you are beginning to put yourself, like, I think we all consider this the modern era of college football, but now there is the college football playoff era that's ahead of the BCS era. It's ahead of the poll era. I tend to think, and Lowell, you tell me what you think, I think if you put your stamp on the first 10 years of this rendition of college football, you're going to lock yourself into that modern, being that one of those top teams. You know what I think Clemson's sorely missing from this run that other teams benefited off of for many years? EA Sports, NCAA college football. And the fact that I remember playing the game many years ago, and you'd be Nebraska. You go online to play against people. They were always picking Nebraska. They were always picking Miami. They were always picking Ohio State. They were always picking Oregon, Southern Cal, Texas. Many years, Oklahoma. And so what that did was that built selfishly, what the people who were in that lawsuit against EA Sports took away from everybody, including those college athletes, was that opportunity to be on a game. Was that opportunity as a college player who was never going to make it to the NFL to be on the game. I'm sure Deshaun Watson would have thought it was pretty awesome to pick up the joystick and play with himself and Wayne Gallman and all those guys. But how about the guy that's on the bench that doesn't make it onto the field until like the third season of the game? And maybe in real life he never even got in. I mean, that was just something that we've been stripped of. And Clemson was stripped and has been stripped of the opportunity because of all the people that are still major players in college football right now. I would argue Clemson is the one that was never really a major player when EA Sports was humming along with that video game. Rarely did somebody pick it up and go, hey, I'm going to be Clemson. Because they weren't that good. They would have been one of the top teams the past few years on that game, and that would have been in the hands of kids all across the country. That would have expanded the brand, and that would have helped. But I think this first 10 years of the college football playoff, to answer your question, is going to be paramount for setting yourself up for what is your college football legacy moving forward. Because I think what people now agree upon is this. While I'm not going to try to diminish Clemson's 1981 national championship, winning 12 games, not having to play in a conference championship game, not having to play in a semifinal game, all of that was an easier route to a national championship. And the fact that you didn't even have to face off against the top team, the second best team in the land, you're playing the number 4 ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers, and even though you had people all over the country that voted in polls, you had split polls and all that, I think this modern college football playoff era that we're now in, the teams at the forefront of that are going to be defined by who were the first teams that dominated it. Because when those retrospectives are put together, they're still going to focus on you. They're still going to focus on the teams that were in it. And Clemson right now got a chance to be in rarefied air. Alabama's been in 3 times. Clemson's the only other team that's ever been in it back-to-back. The teams Clemson's beaten in the college football playoff are a who's who of perennial powers in college football in Oklahoma, Ohio State, and Alabama. I mean, I don't see why not. And maybe you don't get there this year or next year, but I think if in that 10-year window you're there 4 or 5 times, and I think they got a chance to do that. I think as long as Dabo Swinney's there, you got a chance to do that. And somebody said this yesterday, slap me whoever it was, but they said, Dabo Swinney's the best coach in America under 50. I think that was a statement they made to me. You know what? You're probably right. Best coach in America under 50. So, if he coaches for another 20 years, and he does that at Clemson, how many people would honestly say right now, I don't care, Gamecock, Bulldog, Yellow Jacket, Seminole, if I could guarantee you Dabo Swinney coaches at Clemson for 20 more seasons, how many of you would be willing to put $100 on the line that he does not win a national championship? Not many. I bet there wouldn't be many takers. You give him 20 years to make another run at it? So I think Clemson is going to be in the college football playoff again. Maybe not this season. But I don't think you've seen the end of what Dabo Swinney could do. But I think this new era of college football is going to be judged on this college football playoff. And all of that BCS stuff and all that poll era stuff will matter, but that won't be the significant thing. It's kind of like this. Does anybody really care who won the world championships back before the NFL merged with the AFL and we created the Super Bowl? I mean, is anybody championing all the world championships that the Chicago Bears have? What are we measuring, Lowell? Are we talking about that? Or are we talking about who's hoisting the Lombardi Trophy? I mean, which do we talk about?
Talking about the Super Bowls.
Yeah, we don't care how many world championships the Chicago Bears won. Bears fans care about it somewhat, just like Clemson Tiger fans will care about the 1981 national championship. But you go far enough into this college football playoff, and I think it kind of is going to diminish what was college football previously in some respects in terms of the titles.
I think even more so because of how disliked the BCS was by a lot of people. I mean, think of all the controversy that we had during the years of the BCS.
Sure.
And now, yeah, you have a little bit of controversy in the 4-team college football playoff, but generally, so far in the first 3 seasons of it, the 4 teams who are in the playoff are the 4 teams that deserve to be in. I don't think anybody can really argue that. So, it's a more fair system. You're getting the top 4 teams in the country, the top teams in the country scoring off for the championship, unlike in the BCS where, for example, back in 2011, You had Alabama and LSU rematching in the national championship. Those were not the two best teams in the country, but they were picked by a computer formula. And so I think even more so, the college football playoff will be rendered more important than the poll era and the BCS era 20, 30 years down the line.
By the way, the Chicago Bears had 8 NFL championships prior to the Super Bowl era, where they only have one. 1921, 32, 33, 40, 41, 43, 46, and 1963. They won the NFL championship. Nobody cares about those anymore. Wild guess, Lowell. Who's got the most NFL championships all time? Shot in the dark.
Green Bay Packers.
Yep, 11. The Packers have 11. The Bears have 8. They were also known as the Chicago Staleys and the Decatur Staleys at some point. I don't know why they didn't stick with that. That sounds great. I'm not even sure what a Staley is. Maybe it was named after somebody. New York Giants have 4. The Portsmouth Spartans / Detroit Lions also had 4. The Cleveland Browns had 4.
Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers have to be up there.
No. This is, again, not Super Bowl championships. These are NFL world titles.
Okay.
Pittsburgh would have been, I guess, in the AFL. Back then, they weren't in the NFL. And this would have been the world title. I don't even know what the AFL played for. Must have been the AFL championship. I don't know enough about that. By the way, the Providence Steamrollers also have a title under their belt. So, just in case you were wondering about that. But yeah, I'm looking at, I think that's a perfect analogy. Miami's got 5 national championships. I want to say 4 of which were outside of the BCS era, only 1 of which was in the BCS era. And if we advance this thing 30 years down the line and we still have a 4-team playoff, the people are going to look back on what you used to do in the bowl system era and go, you mean you guys just voted on it? You just had a pageant to decide? You think Notre Dame's championships are insignificant in my eyes today? Fast forward another 30 years with a playoff in college football. People go, hold on. So you're telling me they lost to the Great Lakes Flight School by 40 in 1942 or whatever it was, but then they were still voted the national champions, and the Great Lakes Flight School finished 3rd or whatever? Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I know that's not the exact year, and I know that's not the exact scenario, but believe me, Notre Dame fans, hey, all you Golden Domers peeking over the fence, let me tell you something. I can rip apart your tradition and history for a second. I can go back in the polls. I got the magazines right here beside me, the ESPN Encyclopedia. I'm happy to dive into your old schedules and why you should not have been the national champion. So you just continue to award yourself your little trophies and feel good about yourself, and let me know when you're ready to play big boy football like the Clemson Tigers are. All right, you let me know. 803-978-1832. Did I say something wrong, Lowell? Did I say something inaccurate?
That was quite the statement there.
Well, it was. If there's a team that needs to step their game up, it's Notre Dame.
Maybe if they joined a conference, they would play better football.
We got a spot available for you if you want to be a part of it, Notre Dame. 803-978-1832. Taking a look over to see what's going on in our live chat or out on social media. Oh, more people who have chimed in on who do you trust? Hubba, 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 money, money, money. Who do you trust? Bent Zero says it's Renfro and Fuller. Jacob says it's got to be Mitch Hyatt. Joe says Renfro. Warren. Now, Warren, he's at P. Warren Brown on Twitter. He likes Fastlane 28. That's Tavian Feaster. He trusts him. I wish Warren would call and tell us why. What has Tavian Feaster done that you trust, Warren? Dare to Dabo says, Ray Ray. I don't think Dabo trusts Ray Ray. Are you kidding me? By the way, speaking of Ray McLeod, yesterday at Dabo Swinney's media golf outing, Dabo Swinney did say that Ray McLeod will be limited when the Tigers start their season practice as he's recovering from an injured wrist. So some news there on that front in terms of Ray McLeod. Lots of Hunter Renfro's in there, Lowell. A lot of people trusting Hunter Renfro to be the clutch man for the Clemson Tigers. Reason to roar, says Ray. Austin Bryant, Kelly Bryant. I had so many Bryants in my head. And Tavian Feaster. Carlos says Deion Kane. Eric says Hunter Renfro. Justice says T. Feaster from Sparkle City. We're back in 3.
Columbia Office Furniture is the destination for quality new or used office furniture. Preview thousands of new quick ship desks, chairs, workstations, file cabinets, bookcases, conference room furniture, and more at cofsc.com. Then visit our 12,000 square foot showroom at 301 Greystone Boulevard to see, sit in, touch, and feel actual samples before you buy, or browse our huge selection of quality used office furniture. And we offer layout and design services as well as installation. Visit cofsc.com today. Columbia Office Furniture. We furnish solutions.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it Quality Confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's Quality Confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
Do you want a pharmacy that treats you like a person and not just a number? Then let Craig and Lori at Southlake Drug show you what a pharmacy should be. Fast, friendly, and professional. Southlake Drug can transfer your prescriptions and take the hassle out of getting your medicine and getting you on your way. Southlake Drug takes all major insurance programs, including Medicare, Medicaid, and state employees, and they provide immunization services, including flu shots with no wait and no appointment. Southlake Drug, 1856 Southlake Drive in the Food Line Shopping Center, 399-7701, or southlakedrug.com.
Looking for South Carolina's favorite country? You'll find it at 97.5 WCOS.
I'm a girl watcher. I'm a girl watcher. Watching girls go by. My. I'm a girl watcher. I'm a girl watcher. Here comes one now.
Clemson Sports Talk, Lawton Swan, Lowell the intern. All right, Bent Zero chiming in via the Ocean Reef. Well, nope, sorry. Well, let's go ahead and give it out. The Ocean Reef Resort text line, 803-450-0086. Chiming in via the Twitter feed. He says they want to recount hashtag not my intern. So trying to recount you a little. We don't typically get into politics here, but that was funny.
Hate to break it to you, but there was only one candidate up for intern of the year.
Is that how it worked?
So there's not really a recount to be had here.
By the way, New Phone Who This says that was the worst segment we've ever had earlier. That's the real page.
I disagree.
Let's see. Perry Orth? What's he tweeting at me for? No, Perry. You cannot be a part of the show. This shakes the Southland. Bobby says big game Hunter Renfro. I'm telling you, man, people are all over this topic. Tiger Kreider says Renfro. Who's the player you trust the most? Mike Brimmer. Renfro, Kane, Feaster. Lots of Tavian Feasters on this list. By the way, Lowell, the Pittsburgh Steelers, I can't really understand how this worked. They have never won a championship outside of the 6 Super Bowls that they won. They were originally the Pittsburgh Pirates. back in the day. But they weren't listed in this NFL. Like the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets. I'm not even sure where that is. Frankfurt. Kentucky? Is that out of Kentucky, you think? Is Frankfurt in Kentucky? You don't know, Lowell?
Not off the top of my head.
The Frankfurt Yellow Jackets. 1926 was
There is a Frankfurt, Kentucky.
Well, yeah, I know that, but is that where this team was? They played at Frankfurt Stadium, Philadelphia. They were in Philadelphia. Okay, so we have taught people a lot today, Lowell. We have taught people a whole lot today here on Clemson Sports Talk. All right, so we talked about guys you could trust, right? Hubba, 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 money, money, money. Who do you trust? Bleacher Report put together a list of of the most unstoppable offensive players since the year 2000. And, of course, I am all about lists. Most unstoppable players since 2000 in college football. Number 10, Wisconsin running back, Melvin Gordon. He was a good one now. I don't know if you remember him, Lowell.
Of course I do.
But
if I recall, he broke Barry Sanders' record for touchdowns in a season.
But he was picking them up and putting them down back in 2014. 1,600 yards, 12 touchdowns as a junior. Rushed for 2,587 yards with 29 rushing touchdowns.
I think that was Monty Ball I was thinking of, but same thing. Go ahead.
Nonetheless, dominant at running back just a couple of years ago for Wisconsin. Number 9, most unstoppable, Derrick Henry. Running back, Alabama. Lowell, he was a monster. I will give him that. Not somebody I would have wanted to see in the 2017 college football playoff. I mean, he was a real beast. Power, speed, everything you want. 2015, 395 carries, 2,219 yards, 28 touchdowns, and a little Heisman Trophy to boot. Number 8, most unstoppable, Christian McCaffrey. Kind of a surprise there. I like McCaffrey. I hope he does well with the Carolina Panthers. I can safely tell you I'm not buying it. Number 7, Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel comes in at number 7 as one of the most unstoppable players in college football since the year 2000. I don't know that we've seen a more flashy quarterback in a long time in college football. Number 5 on that list, famous Jameis Winston. Now, you think about his career at Florida State in terms of just wins and everything, bringing home a national title, bringing home a Heisman Trophy, athleticism, size, good arm, leadership, terrible off the field. We know that. But you can't deny the leader that he was on the field. He set an NCAA record at Florida State when they scored 723 points in that one season, 2013, I guess it was. He threw for 4,057 yards and 40 touchdowns, offset by just 10 interceptions. Number 5, Vince Young, who led Texas to a national championship back in 2005. Number 4, running back Ohio State, Ezekiel Elliott. Love Elliott's running style. I think he's going to continue to be great in the NFL. He's that compact power runner that you really like. Fearless, man. That's how I would label Ezekiel Elliott, fearless. Just love everything about that young man.
He needs to get together off the field.
Well, he's had his issues off. Several of these guys have had. I don't know if there's a correlation here, but there's at least 4 or 5 guys in this top 10 that have had serious issues off the field, but were unstoppable on the field. Number 3, Reggie Bush, running back, Southern Cal.
It's funny that Reggie Bush comes up on this list because I saw on Twitter someone post a video of some of his highlights at Southern Cal. Boy, that brings you back.
Stupid. Just stupid, right? He had a touchdown run against like Fresno State or somebody where it looked like a video game. It looked like he paused it and everybody went running by him and he just cut back for a touchdown. And, you know, they probably beat Oklahoma. I mean, they probably beat Texas in that national championship if Reggie Bush doesn't try to pitch the football. Like, just for whatever reason, he's getting tackled and he tries to pitch the ball back to make a play. And Texas ends up recovering. Turnover. I mean, you just shoot yourself in the foot. You're driving. Number 2, Cam Newton. I can't argue with that. It's hard for me not to believe that Cam Newton's been one of the most dominant players I've ever seen in college football. Number 1, Tim Tebow. Are you surprised not to see Deshaun Watson making an appearance in the top 10 most unstoppable players in college football since 2014? Now, I gave you the list, and I'm going to tell you, the further I got down that list, when I passed Jameis Winston, I thought, okay, Deshaun's coming. I kind of knew that Cam Newton would be there somewhere. But I thought as soon as I passed Jameis Winston that Deshaun Watson would show up. But I got Ezekiel Elliott, I got Reggie Bush, I got Cam Newton, and then Tim Tebow. I didn't get a Deshaun Watson, and maybe I'm selfish, maybe I'm orange-shaded, whatever. I think Watson's better than some of these guys on that list.
Well, you would think just based on the 2 national championship games alone.
You would think.
I mean, you want to talk about unstoppable? Let's put Deshaun Watson up against what people considered the best defense in college football.
Ever.
2 years in a, well, 1 year it was the best ever. 1 year it was the best we've seen the past 10 years. And he tore both of them apart. They had no answer for him. Even in games that he loses.
Right.
Let's go back to the Pitt game. Believe he set a school record for passing yards and passing completions in that game.
I believe you're right. I'd have to double check that stat, but I think that sounds right.
So, I mean, I don't know that we've watched a game where he was really stopped. Now, there were some games where there was a turnover here or there. A
couple of games you attended.
Okay.
Freshman year.
That was not with Deshaun Watson at quarterback. I'd like to point out.
Georgia Tech game.
Yeah, that doesn't count. The only way Deshaun Watson was ever stopped was with an injury.
Well, Florida State, weren't you there for that one?
He didn't start.
Can I ask you something? How many losses did Watson have in his career?
As a starting quarterback? But let's specify here as a starting quarterback, because I think it was 3.
How many times did you watch him walk off the field with his head down? 3.
No.
4.
He only had 3 losses. How could it have been 4?
He saw him lose at Georgia.
He wasn't the starter.
All right, we'll be back.
iHeartRadio wants nothing more than to bring you closer to your favorite artists.
This is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
So we've updated the iHeartRadio app. No, it's an upgrade. All your favorite music and stations, easier to find. Getting you closer to the music you love with just a tap.
This is Taylor Momsen from The Pretty Reckless, and this is iHeartRadio.
All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. Download and open the new iHeartRadio app today.
Hi, my name is Donald Kidwell, current owner of CrossFit Iron Mary's. After finding CrossFit in 2012, I lost 128 pounds. At CrossFit Iron Mary's, you're not a barcode, you're an actual person. Where you are now is not important. Where you want to be is. 3 locations to reach your fitness goals in Columbia: the Old Mill in Lexington, Trotter Road in West Columbia, and downtown near the Carolina Baseball Stadium. Check us out online at CrossFitIronMarys.com or give us a call at 803-414-9601. Set up your first set of free classes today at CrossFit Iron Mary's, 803-414-9601.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman-Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat and Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat and Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
You're not like anyone else on campus. You are a denim-devoted gastronomy major nap machine, and you think you nailed your back-to-school shopping. Fresh denim, a microwave, and a coffee maker, a plush new body pillow, and a stack of fresh sheets. But did you check eBay? If you did, you'd see that eBay has deals on the whole back-to-school checklist. And just like that, you realize that your Friday night fun could have had a lot more funding. Go back to school like nobody else. eBay. Fill your cart with color.
Hey guys, Lawton Swan here. I was hanging out in the backyard with my son Mason the other day, and he said, "Dad, you're the best father ever." I was like, "What makes you say that, son?" He said, "When I go outside to play now, I don't get eaten up by the bugs anymore." Imagine that, me, a hero, when all I did was just a couple of weeks ago call Trey Powell at Mosquito Joe with their routine service plan. No more bugs and no more bites. Make yourself the family hero. Call Mosquito Joe today, 803-223-7916. Outside is fun again.
Tonight, the scattered storms will die off. The lows will drop down to the mid-70s. Now, tomorrow will be sunny and very hot. Afternoon highs, mid to upper 90s. For Channel 25, ABC Columbia, I'm Chief Meteorologist John Farley.
This report is brought to you by Midland Air Service Experts. Is your AC not as cool as it used to be? Contact Midland Air Service Experts and save $55 on a precision tune-up. Regularly $124, now $69. Call Midland Air Service Experts at 866-EXPERTS. That's 866-EXPERTS. See website for license details.
Follow Clemson Sports Talk on Twitter at Clemson Sports. Now more of Clemson Sports Talk. Take it away, Dad.
Lawton Swan, Lowell the intern, 803-978-1832, 803-978-1832. Having a good time here on the show that shakes the Southland tonight. Lots of stuff we've gotten into that I don't know how we got into it. Lowell, Deshaun Watson had, 3 losses in his career. He was like 32-3 as a starter or something like that. You managed to witness 4 losses, though. If that tells you anything about your curse.
Yeah, I don't know where you were going with that question last segment because Clemson's only lost 2 games in the past 2 seasons. So
yeah, but you've seen Watson lose 4. He only lost 3, but somehow you magically were 4 losses.
Yeah, something like that. Sure.
You were in Athens.
I was in Athens.
You were in Florida State.
I was at Florida State.
That game.
You were at one of those, weren't you?
I plead the fifth. No, I wasn't. I didn't go to any of those games. And you were at the Georgia Tech game. Remember, I warned you about going to Georgia Tech. Do you remember that? We told you don't come back. Your career at this show should have ended that Saturday afternoon.
And Clemson would have rolled Georgia Tech up had Deshaun Watson not gotten hurt.
They really would have. Man, Watson's career. Yeah, that was something. The only game on that schedule you probably honestly lose starting Watson and playing him the whole time is probably Georgia. You beat Florida State. I don't have any. Do you have any? Does anybody have any doubt that if Watson plays that full game at Florida State, that was an overtime ball game anyway. Clemson had Cole Stout hit Jordan Leggett in the knees with a walk-in touchdown pass, and that's when Dabo was like, eh. Then of course you had oh God, what was the field goal kicker's name? The guy kicked Amon Lakeup go shankopotamus a couple of times in that game. Just duck hooks, like somebody hitting a golf ball off a tee. Take Lowell out to the country club right now, and you see what I'm talking about. He missed 2 shanked field goals. Oh, my God.
Snap over the head.
Was that Ryan Norton?
It was. And
Norton!
Poor guy. He got all sorts of bad letters.
I think we did end up making that field goal, though. I think Amon Lakeup did make that 20-some-odd yard field goal at that point. Then you don't score, and Florida State scores on the first play of overtime. Yeah. Let that settle in, Tiger Nation.
Yeah, that game was kind of was sort of the game where I was going. I really had questions about some of the play calling on offense, and that was sort of the game where I was thinking Deshaun Watson should have been starting that game. Probably should have been starting the Georgia game. You know, I was a supporter of Cole Stout being the starter that season, if you'll recall.
I was in the camp of Chad Swag Kelly. Unfortunately, he didn't make it.
Well, once Chad Kelly
he
was
didn't
gone,
make it through camp.
Once Chad Kelly was gone off the team, I was a full supporter of Cole Stout, and it made sense at the time. I know a lot of people question that, and I did hear your interview, by the way, with Dabo Swinney, where you asked him about this.
Whoops.
And I think he had a great answer, and it's Deshaun Watson was 180 pounds. Deshaun Watson broke his collarbone. Cole Stout had been in the offense for 4 years. Cole Stout knew how to play, every play in the playbook. Deshaun Watson was a freshman. Yeah, you're starting on the road in Athens. Makes sense to go with Cole Stout, and I was a full supporter of that. And then there was a certain point during that Florida State game where I was going, okay, maybe it should be Deshaun Watson the rest of the time.
You know, the other thing, too, that Dabo Swinney said there, and I think it makes it an interesting topic of conversation moving forward, was the whole gist of Cole Stout's experience. And I'm not trying to say Dabo Swinney downplayed the experience of Kelly Bryant by any means, but he certainly didn't bolster that experience, which makes you think that this battle for quarterback tends to trend much more closely towards a young player than the junior, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I bet if you go back and do a snap comparison, Cole Stout will look like a veteran quarterback in comparison to Kelly Bryant snaps. It just is what it is. Kelly Bryant never got on the field.
Ever. And that's partially Clemson's fault. And I talked about that yesterday. They won 7 games. 7 games. They played in 8, and they won 7 of them that were decided by 7 points or less last year.
Well, here's the thing. Also, in 2015, when you were having the blowouts and stuff,
okay,
you needed to have a reliable backup, a guy who you could put on the field and know you can still win the game. And so that's why Nick Schuessler got those snaps over Kelly Bryant. Because if you had a situation like in 2014 where Deshaun Watson goes down, are you going to put out Nick Schuessler or Kelly Bryant? And so you wanted my man Dr. Schuess to get those snaps just in case something happened with Deshaun Watson and you weren't just throwing Kelly Bryant into the fire.
All right, so looking at it, as a freshman, Cole Stout threw 21 passes, completed 12.
That sounds like more than Kelly Bryant has thrown his entire career so far. But
as a sophomore, he threw 39 passes, completing 27. So that would bring him to, 60. And then in 2013, as a junior, he threw 59 passes, which would bring him up to 120. And he had completed about 80. Kelly Bryant
has 35 career attempts. Wait, that's rushing.
It has
18 career attempts.
18 career attempts with 13 completions. So Cole Stout had thrown for more passes his freshman year, 21, than Kelly Bryant has in 2 years, and completed one less with 12 than Kelly Bryant did in 2 years. So, I mean, Swinney's right. By the time Cole Stout was the senior, he had a pretty significant, 80 completions and what do we say, 100 and some odd passes? 120 passes?
Yeah, these are two much different situations. And
not to mention, he was a senior.
Yeah.
Kelly Bryant's a junior. And Kelly Bryant's, in all honesty, is not that much older than Hunter Johnson. I mean, let's be real about this. You think it mattered what year LeBron James came out of high school? You think he'd have been pretty good in college had he played? Huh? Do you think he'd have done okay at Duke or North Carolina as a college athlete? Think he might have started over some of those upperclassmen? That LeBron James guy? Probably. Final segment coming up here on the show that shakes the Southland.
Attention, anyone who's suffering from lower back pain. Right now, HealthSource is offering our listeners an absolutely free back pain consultation on a first-come, first-served basis by calling 803-218-9047. Our doctors can find the root cause of your lower back pain and show you how to get well fast and stay well longer. No more pain. No more feeling worn out. Essentially, no more not feeling like yourself. Call 803-218-9047.
Love it raw? For the freshest sushi in town, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, 807 Gervais Street in the Vista. Sakatumi's flavorful grill for non-sushi fans features the Kobe burger, filet and lobster, chicken hibachi, and more. Fresh sushi, flavorful grill, Sakatumi Grill and Sushi Bar, sakifresh.com.
When a stroke happens, every second counts. So don't drive and call 911 to get to the emergency department as soon as possible. At Lexington Medical Center, we're pleased to serve our community. As a certified primary stroke center, our acute stroke team rapidly evaluates patients and provides them with the fastest treatment possible. This specialized care limits the chance of brain damage and gives stroke patients a better chance of full recovery. Act quickly at the first sign of a stroke and count on the Stroke Center at Lexington Medical Center to provide you with the best possible care.
Looking to get away without having to spend a whole day traveling to your destination? Ocean Reef Resort offers 1, 2, 3, and 4-bedroom accommodations with the comforts of home and boasts the best oceanfront views. Swim in their sparkling indoor and outdoor pools, relax in their hot tubs, try out the Adventure Oasis pool with adult-sized water slide, or just float down the 250-foot lazy river. Visit us at oceanreefmyrtlebeach.com or call us at 1-866-935-0530 to learn more.
For more information about contests on this station, go to foxsportsradio1400.com/rules. Welcome back to Clemson Sports Talk, your iHeart Radio home for the Clemson Tigers, winners of the 2017 National Championship game.
What have you done for me lately? It's a fair question. Just don't lose sight of the bigger picture. Don't forget history. Lucky for us at Clemson, the answer to the questions, what have you done for me lately, and what have you done always, are the same. We win.
Well, now that the 820-pound hog is out of the room.
I'm still here. That's very rude.
Not the story. The story.
Oh, okay.
The story of the 820-pound hog. We talked about the most unstoppable player in college football offensively since the year 2000. We talked about what offensive player you would trust the most in 2017. I kind of feel like it's Hunter Renfrow based on the people's vote. We may have to put it to a poll just to see.
Looking at the responses, it looks runaway for Hunter Renfrow.
Hunter with another Renfrow, huh? All right, so the ACC preseason football team, we talked about that earlier. Deion Kane, first-team wideout. Tyrone Crowder, first-team guard. Mitch Hyatt, first-team tackle. On the defensive side, Lawrence and Wilkins taking the defensive tackle spots there. So you've got that going on in terms of the Clemson Tigers. But here's an interesting note that sort of pertains to our fine-feathered friends, the Gamecocks peeking over the fence. And that is the pursuit of the next head baseball coach at the College of Charleston. And some people had speculated that one of the names that would absolutely be in the running for that spot, and it was Chad Holbrook. Now, though, apparently Holbrook is out in terms of being pursued by the College of Charleston, and You and I were talking about this earlier. Some interesting developments on this front. And for Coach Chad Holbrook, this feels like his career may take a little step backwards. I mean, just given the information you read me earlier, and I know you've got the quotes over there, doesn't it feel like Holbrook may now have to either A, find his way to a smaller job, or B, could Holbrook have to return to being an assistant coach? I mean, this information, because I would think College of Charleston would overlook some things. I would think they'd be willing to take a chance on Chad Holbrook. Lowell, read me and the people listening to the show that shakes the Southland tonight, some of the comments that have come out about Chad Holbrook and that coaching situation at the College of Charleston.
I'm trying to pull it back up right now.
Okay.
I can tell you that it seems like a lot of insiders at College of Charleston have a guy in mind that they want, and they're really pushing for that guy to be the coach. And so I think that partially has something to do with
Scott Foxhall, I believe, who is a former College of Charleston guy. I do know that, but former College of Charleston player and assistant coach, popular amongst Cougar fans and his ex-teammates. But there were issues surrounding Holbrook's lack of ability to win with the infrastructure here in Columbia and the size of the program here in Columbia. And there were talks about Chad Holbrook and recruiting tactics that were not well thought of. So, to me, all of a sudden, you've got a situation where you look at where he was this past season with a program that is nationally known to now being turned down, it would seem, by the College of Charleston, given what they may call red flags, I guess you would say.
And here is the letter. It's a very long letter.
Okay.
But I'll read you the part that I read you earlier. Coach Holbrook failed to advance the winning baseball tradition at USC. Despite having facilities and resources that are among the best in the nation at his disposal, we have to question how such a coach would fare with the reduced resources associated with a school in a mid-major conference. Members of this group who are still highly involved with collegiate baseball are also aware of accusations of some questionable recruiting actions taken by Coach Holbrook in the past. Now, that's the thing that really catches my attention.
Yeah.
I had never heard anything about that.
Me either.
While he has never been formally disciplined by the NCAA, and it is not our place to accuse him of anything, it seems that bringing in a coach associated with these types of rumors would not be wise, considering the recent controversies that College of Charleston has endured with Coach Heath, as well as the former women's and men's basketball coaches.
Wouldn't you think if there were these things around Coach Holbrook that Ray Tanner would have cut him loose? It wouldn't have been a resignation. He would have fired him for those things if it was really bad. I mean, how bad could these things have been for them to be something that crops up on you at your next gig at a smaller school in state when you've been at South Carolina?
Now, here's this next statement just seems petty on the part of whoever wrote this. Last year, while at USC, Coach Holbrook also refused to schedule games with the College of Charleston while playing games against every other team in the state. Turning around and considering him as a candidate for head coach only rewards this slight against our proud institution.
Oof. Yeah, that's not.
It seems a little petty.
That may be. That may be the. I don't know what exact color scheme they are. I mean, I know it's like burgundy and gold or whatever, but it seems a little burgundy and gold shaded. By the way, 1 year ago today, Brett McMurphy tweeted this. This comes to us from Davey D23. Alabama, who was a 5-1 favorite to win the national title at the time, Nick Saban saying, "How could they not pick Clemson? Deshaun Watson is the most dominant player in college football since Cam Newton." And I say to Nick Saban, how could you not have Deshaun Watson on that list? If Saban says it, how could he not be there? Doesn't he have to be one of the top 10 most impossible to stop players?
Nick Saban never had an answer for him.
There's got to be a joke in that line, right? There's got to be we got to find them. There's got to be like a joke you could come up with off of that. Something like, it'd be like knock knock, who's there? And then you get nothing. So, and then it'd be, well, Saban never had the answer for Deshaun Watson. I don't know, Lowell. Come on, man, help me out over there. Scott's on the line. Scott, you've been patient. I've been lost all day. I think it's my headache that I've got, or maybe that's just Lowell. What's up, Scott?
I know, and you didn't leave me much time.
I left you 2 minutes, so I apologize.
Okay, I got 2 minutes. Wow.
Well, you're down to a minute and a half now. You've been rambling.
No. It wasn't no 30 seconds. Hey, look here. I told Lowell that I wanted to talk about the upcoming season.
Yeah.
I wasn't talking about the upcoming college football season. I was talking about the upcoming Clemson Sports Talk Swanee season.
I'm with you, man. Talk to me.
Okay. You said I was unseated by, I think you said Clemson Craig?
Yeah. We got about 45 seconds.
I'm laying down the gauntlet. Ooh, yeah. Let me throw some wrestling in there.
Yeah.
I'm laying down the gauntlet.
Okay.
I'm challenging Clemson Craig. At the end of every week, he needs to text you, and I will do the same, about how many miles we went. There's no way to prove it, but we're just doing this in fun. Because in the end, we're just going to snap into some Slim Jim.
All right, hey, listen. The challenge is down. Scott, man, appreciate the phone call, buddy. Thanks for listening and traveling with us. The Traveling Man winner, 3-time Traveling Man winner.
By the way, quick update. Apparently, Chad Holbrook is back in the coaching search for College of Charleston. So, don't know what's going on in Charleston, but Holbrook is back in the search.
Well, I guess we'll talk about that tomorrow, along with a host of other topics here on the show that shakes the Southland. Scott, appreciate you holding, man. Sorry to keep you over there that long. We'll blame Lowell for that one. Until tomorrow night, as always, y'all take care now. And go Tigers!
Need custom shirts, hats, or uniforms? How about promotional giveaways for your business or organization? Need fast turnaround times? Look no further than Meridian Printing and Promotions. Located in Lexington, they provide an in-house art department, in-house screen printing, and in-house embroidery services to the Midlands and beyond. For the absolute best quality products and services, contact Meridian Printing and Promotions, 785-4990. Check them out online, mbspromo.com.
Stars and Stripes Sports is a leader in the sports athlete development market, offering innovative health, fitness, training, and player development solutions for players and coaches of all levels of youth sports. Stars and Stripes Sports is looking to add at least 2 people per state to start their own business for sports testing and to market these events locally. We want people to start their programs in early 2017, starting with spring training. Many high-quality athletes fail to reach their potential. Call Chris today, 704-737-9970, or email Chris Carlson at starsandstripesports.com.
Columbia Office Furniture is the destination for quality new or used office furniture. Preview thousands of new quick ship desks, chairs, workstations, file cabinets, bookcases, conference room furniture, and more at cofsc.com. Then visit our 12,000 square foot showroom at 301 Greystone Boulevard to see, sit in, touch, and feel actual samples before you buy, or browse our huge selection of quality used office furniture. And we offer layout and design services as well as installation. Visit cofsc.com today. Columbia Office Furniture. We furnish solutions.
Our customers receive the best heating and air conditioning service in South Carolina. Hi, I'm Tim Mosley, and I can make that statement because that's what our customers tell us every day. We call it quality confirmed. Call us at 803-233-7172, and we'll call you when the job is done to confirm we met your expectations. That's quality confirmed. We're Carolina Conditions, and we're committed to meeting your expectations. 803-233-7172. Call us at 803-233-7172.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman-Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? but to order at Kaufman's Meeting Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meeting Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
Sharing has never meant as much as it does now. We share the things we love most in life for the world to see. But what if we could actually do more with our sharing than just collect likes? What if this sharing could be used to make a difference? Now there's a place where we can put all that sharing to good use. The National MS Society is asking people to make a difference and share what they love with someone else who loves it too. Whether it's surfing, dancing, or whatever is important to you, we've created a place that'll help you get your experience out to the world. If you have a story, share it. If you have a solution, share that too. Join us at wearestrongerthanms.org, because together, we are stronger.
From the E.F. Martin Heating and Air Studios, this is Fox Sports Radio 1400. WCOS Columbia. Available anywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app.
Fox Sports trending now.
Live from LA, I'm Tom Looney. Slaving over a hot microphone. The Cubs maybe snapping out of their funk. They won 6 in a row.
Rondon's 1-2 pitch.